I'm a 32-year-old guy who usually sees himself as pretty easygoing, but even the calmest people have limits. My life has always been stable, steady job, bills paid on time, and for the most part one keep to myself. For the past 2 years I'd been in a relationship with my girlfriend. We'll call her G. Things weren't flawless, but good enough that I started picturing a future with her. A few months back, she kept bringing up the idea of taking a real vacation, not just a weekend drive or a quick trip. Cancun sounded perfect. Sun, beaches, a chance to relax together. We booked flights and left on a Friday morning. From the start, she was unusually chipper, almost giddy. At the time I chalked it up to excitement, but looking back, there were warning signs I brushed aside. On the plane she was glued to her phone, tilting the screen whenever I glanced over. When I teased her about it, she waved it off with a casual work stuff. I convinced myself not to worry. The first 2 days went smoothly. We lounged by the pool, explored restaurants and took plenty of goofy couple photos. But on day 3 her behavior shifted. Suddenly she was constantly stepping aside to take calls. Strange, since she'd been the one who pushed so hard for a trip where she could disconnect. That afternoon she told me she wanted to check out some shops nearby. I was sprawled out on a lounge chair with a cocktail, and said I'd pass. She smiled, but it wasn't her real smile. It felt forced, almost like she was glad I declined. Something about her energy gnawed at me. I'm not naturally jealous, but I couldn't shake it. 10 minutes later I got up and followed her. It didn't take long to spot her at a coffee shop, and she wasn't alone. Sitting across from her was her ex. They were laughing together, sharing private little jokes. For context, she and this guy had a long, messy history, on and off for years before I came into the picture. She had assured me countless times it was over, even showing me messages where she told him to leave her alone. Seeing them together felt like someone had punched me in the stomach. I didn't confront them. Instead, I stayed in the background and snapped a few photos. My heart was hammering, but I kept calm and watched as they left together and strolled into a park. They were laughing, chatting, and at one point she hugged him. When she returned to the hotel later, she handed me a cheesy souvenir keychain with a big smile. Not a trace of guilt. That night, while she showered, I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her phone. And sure enough, I found everything I feared. They had been planning this meetup for weeks. Our vacation wasn't just for us. It was a cover for her to see him. The texts made it clear. She missed him, she thought about him, and she needed closure. Closure, right? I barely slept, but by morning I had a plan. I played it cool, acted like nothing was wrong, and even went snorkeling with her. That evening I told her I wasn't feeling well, and wanted to stay in. As soon as she left, I packed my bags, booked the next flight home, canceled the hotel room, and left her a note. Gee, I know about your little reunion with his name. Hope it was worth it. The room's canceled and I'm on a flight back home. Good luck sorting this out. Was it cold? Maybe. But she deserved it. As the plane lifted off, I felt anger, sadness, and relief all at once. The red flags had been there for years, but I ignored them. Now I couldn't anymore. When I landed, I blocked her on everything: phone, email, social media. A few days later, mutual friends began reaching out. Apparently, she was crying to them, saying I'd abandoned her in Mexico. When I asked if she told them why, they said no. So I sent the screenshots and photos. That shut down any sympathy she was trying to build. Her life unraveled fast. She had to pay a fortune for a last-minute flight. Her ex ghosted her once he realized she'd lied about being single, and our friends stopped defending her. She was exposed for who she really was. But G didn't stop there. A week later, I got a rambling email from her. Excuses, half-truths, outright lies. She swore the meetup had been spontaneous and that I'd misunderstood. Misunderstood? I had photos and texts. What was there to misunderstand? I ignored her. Then one of her friends called, saying I had hurt her. I laughed and forwarded the same proof. That ended the conversation. Still, G wasn't done. She started spreading lies online, painting herself as the victim and me as controlling and paranoid. She even accused me of stealing from her when I left. Then she crossed the line. My boss called one morning, saying they'd received an anonymous email with screenshots of me supposedly ranting and making threats. It was fake, badly edited, full of typos, but it was clear she was behind it. That was it for me. I contacted a lawyer, explained everything, and sent her a cease and desist letter. Predictably, she blew up my phone from a new number, ranting in all caps about how I was ruining her life. I blocked her again. Meanwhile, I quietly collected evidence of her online antics, posts bragging about manipulation, sabotaging others, everything. Insurance in case she escalated again. Eventually, her lies caught up with her. Mutual friends called her out. Her ex posted a brutal rant exposing her as a manipulative liar. The backlash was harsh. She deleted her social media and, from what I heard, moved to another city. As for me, I felt lighter than I had in years. Walking away from her was the smartest decision I ever made. She tried to destroy me, but all I did was shine a light on who she really was. If I learned anything, it's this. Trust your instincts, don't ignore red flags, and never let someone convince you that you deserve less than honesty and respect.